You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Bills going up against the Colts. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
Thank you, Larry. We welcome you to the heart of the Hoosier State in the Circle City of Indianapolis, Indiana, and Lucas Oil Stadium. Tonight, it's the Thursday opener for the new NFL season between the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. An early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And a look here now at their fourth-year quarterback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that's the way to get things started the first time you touch the football on the road. And you have to believe all week long, all they've talked about is, okay, going into a hostile environment, we're the visiting team. How do we take control of this ball game early? That's one way right there. No fear, guys. And if they had it...
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he powers his way up past the 30. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a third and about 14. And here's a look at the starting offense. Third down, still 14 yards left. The play fake. He'll look to throw. Going up top. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And some room to work. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Now the try here for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. So a defensive brain lapse there and an encroachment penalty.
Sometimes when you don't watch the football and make sure that it's snapped, you're watching the offensive player, and they can influence you occasionally and look like they're getting ready to move, and the officials don't detect it.
They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And here's a look at the defensive unit that hopes to halt this offense today. So we've got a 2nd and 5. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 15 yards through the air on a first down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Then he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Their big tight end, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback. Now a handoff here to his running back. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And they give this time to the tailback. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. A host of Bills there that time to make the stop. And now a peek at the starters on the defensive side.
Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on 3rd down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Fielded at the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the option going right. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So that'll do it for the 1st quarter as we kick off another season. 7-all is the score. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this.
This presentation of the NFL.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
Let's go! 3-19!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 5. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go now. Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
third down, he'll drop to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. A one-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of one-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional one-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And now the field goal team on for Buffalo. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the Bills have taken the lead. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
This is taken at his 4. There he goes right side. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Indianapolis. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork to be able to put it all together, but that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. A spectacular return of 96 yards. Great blocking in front of him on special teams as well as he takes it to the end zone. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Colts defensive unit trots back out there. And even though that last drive yielded points, it was a long field goal, so they probably weren't too upset about it. Although here, obviously, they'd like to give up 0.
Of course, that's the goal each and every time out. But when they make that type of a field goal that long, you almost give them a little nod of respect to the kicker, like, congratulations. But you do feel pretty good about not giving up anything big.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can not give up anything big on this drive. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And it's a fumble. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back. But it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover for his squad.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Timing is crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
2nd and just 1.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And he will find his man on the outside. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Bills getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got
the Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Fields with the football early first. The pass ends up being picked off. Colts will end up returning it for a TD. Colts up by a touchdown. 3rd down at the 21. The pass will be completed into coverage, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. We're brand new at 7. Fields on the kickoff. The return will start from the 4, and he'll win the sprint to the end zone. Colts go up by 4. Fields take over late in the 2nd. Defense will get to the QB here. This will go for a loss of 8. So that'll do it for us at the EA Sports Studio. We're going back under the lights for the second half of this Thursday night matchup.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. 6 yards to go here on 2nd down.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Detroit. Detroit. Leopard. Leopard. All right, here we go.
A play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd.
We got three, fellas. Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 53 yards. And the Colts add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they'll run it here. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now back to throw. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be taken down deep into Indianapolis territory. It's a big play for the Bills on third down. 51 yards. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move him out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Bills are forced to settle for 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off that lead.
And now you put the pressure on your defense, who didn't particularly play all that well in the first half. But they're going to need to step it up here and make some plays if these guys are going to have any chance.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A chance for us now to look at this Bills defense again. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know, from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
A bullet throw, but incomplete. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to try and throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. That one good for 12 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
The play fake. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. Red zone opportunity. They'll give it to him right up the gut. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done...
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point...
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Blue 90! Blue 90! 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Out of the gun now on third down. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. So he makes the grab and the change move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Offense in a good spot here. 2nd and 2.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
Offense.
Back to throw again. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there from 21 yards away. And the Bills cut into that lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
False start. Offense.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So a big roughing the passer penalty, Charles, and of course that's 15 yards.
And everyone knows how protected the quarterbacks are. You've got to make sure that when you launch at a quarterback, that you're hitting him in the right spot and in the right time.
False start. Offense.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 14 yards there on the pickup, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw now on first down. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
Offense.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. But I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Cut back, left sideline. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They've had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now the Bills will take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And he'll give it here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Holding. Offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Looking to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Colts add on to their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And here come the Bills. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. And on 3rd down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back,
flooding the passing lanes.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're the NFL 2 for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice. That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Colts, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a